Okay, folks. Sorry for trolling you all a little bit with the timer here. Um, we are about to head into the game though. Don't worry. This is gonna kick off real soon. Already done the spectator setup, and we're just loading back in after the obligatory reload. So within the next minute or so, this shit is supposed to launch. We have a big matchup, as you can already see in the title. That's another high-tier lobby. I'm always glad that I can get such high-quality games for testing here. And we're testing with some big Civ and with big tier, top-tier Civs, I guess, for this one. So we'll see how good the new ones can compare and stack up against them. Oops, I didn't adjust the team names, sadly. But oh god, I have my setup done poorly. We have SDN, Obi, and Rever. Okay. And then the other team, Cheese, Arch, and Midas. Okay. A bit janky, but here we go, guys. There's my setup. Looks fine, I guess. Let's go. Hey, Repdeck. Hey, Towel. You're here right in time to catch the start of this one. This is going to be a great match. Look at these teams, dude. Yep. So here we go. We've got everything set up. I'm not taking philosophy, not tacking philosophy. And people complaining a little bit about the starts here. Okay, Cheese and Midas, a couple of the guys that haven't played as many on-stream matches yet, but that's fine. We're just testing here anyways. So as you can see, we're testing with some way higher tier civs this time around. And that's gonna hopefully show in the gameplay as well. This is it's gonna be fun. And for the matchups, we have pretty much the northeast here, as you can see, these three guys, versus the southwest. One could say pretty clear setup, and it is a very small map again. I have another map prepared for today if these guys want to play another game after this one, and that's going to be a little bit of a more spaced out map. But they don't know that yet, of course. So this is on the smaller, narrower end. And we see how that'll affect them, because we're testing rushing civs, as you can see, and that could benefit them greatly, I would imagine. Now, this is gonna be fun. I'll see it, just as Cheese is suggesting right now. If somebody just dies turn 5 to a rush or something, that would be funny. It looks like they are going for Berkshire Hathaway or something. So we'll see how that'll pay off. This is easier to understand than my Latin homework. Maybe I'm doing something wrong in Latin then, because we in the Western world, of course, are all very well versed in Latin, aren't we? Fair enough, though. She's complaining about his non-forest furs. Look at the poor guy. By the way, in case you haven't noticed yet, all these testing maps that I've used are honest, genuine MPT starts. These are all just starts that I copied out of randomly generated MPT maps or just actual MPT games. So yeah, these are general starts. I just filled in the space between the civs with random shit, but these starts are all genuine. Sometimes I switched up a couple of res or luxuries, especially the res, because I can't see the res, right, where they spawn in real MPT, turn 0. But the land is genuine MPT. All right, now let's focus a bit on the action here. It looks like Celt and Inca already mingling here a bit, as we have Midas with the beautiful red Celts, since I stole the light blue color with my spectators. That's sometimes gonna happen, I guess. But these guys already figuring out that this is a way smaller map than most regular MPT maps are. Archery, of course, with the corner Aztecs is a bit unfortunate, especially since he was supposed to pressure Japan ideally, and now just ends up in a 1v1 against Zulu potentially. So that's a bit iffy, I would say. Doesn't look, we wanted to test some rushing versus the new civs, but it's fine. We have India here, cheese, that is likely to be pressured quite a lot by the neighboring Zulu, so that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Oh god, looks like cheese has some issues with his build here already. He's gonna have to adapt. It looks like, luckily for him, he hasn't been found out just yet. But as Rever is announcing, he's gonna go to Midas, which I guess makes sense. It's just walking straight south. We'll see how these guys can maneuver this early game. Looks like the northern team with their double scouts already have contact made between everybody. That is certainly useful. And Obi with his Chasky waiting on over here. I wonder if he's what the deal is with that. I just suspect him to move every end of turn and try to get the most effective double moves off that way. Looks like he's gonna move it forward now, and not just keep it waiting around here fortified. So we'll check that. We'll see what he ends up doing. I'm pretty sure he's gonna find these Celts soon, and there he goes into doubling range of Andromond right now already. And we'll see if Midas is gonna be susceptible to any early shenanigans here, as the Aztecs also in a interesting predicament here with the Zulu. SDN hasn't found out about these Jags yet, and Arch has spotted them, as you can see in chat right here. Potentially devastating here for SDN, who maybe chopped or pop rushed the barracks or something, because he's size 1 still. Depending on how quickly he's going to get his stuff out, this could be quite dangerous for him. Yep, all spies are placed. Just wanted to double check, and oh lord, there goes the warrior. Let's check if Archriver can get this one. It's close, but the game is not over that quickly. SDN luckily gets the warrior out just in time. That was a close encounter there for Archie. He doesn't get the GA, maybe that's the positive here for him. But he also loses that early surprise factor Jaguar warrior. That was a real close one, and SDN proudly announces it in the team chat as well. Oh lord, that was a close one, dude. But yes, he survives, and therefore let's see if he can hold on to the scout. I would bet that Cheese outspeeds here for this one. And we'll see if he actually tries going for it. With the war declaration, looks like SDN tried to get out of the way, but even if he had managed to, that warrior would have just gobbled him up next turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter after all. And SDN surely can't like that early game. Oh, looks like I missed the Obi. Looks like I missed the Obi Chasky hit down here. My lord. I completely missed the double teaming here of Rever and Obi onto the Celts, and Midas just barely hanging on here by 1 HP, but it looks like could end up living here. That was a close one. Real nice coordination between Rever and Obi. I can't believe I didn't check that, but bruh, that's some RNG here for him, it seems. And Cheese correctly assessing the situation. Both of these teams could have lost a player by now, so really nothing major has happened there so far. And it looks like slowly but surely everybody's figured out everybody else's positions. Only the Aztecs maybe are still in an unknown, in a location unbeknownst to the enemy, but it shouldn't take him that long to figure it out, since these maps always tend to be rather symmetrical. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they already have a pretty decent idea of where Archie was actually at. Text coming through slowly here. Again, India gonna be put to the stress test here, I feel, by the Zulu, since they managed to survive here. And Japan just sitting on these Celtic horses for now. Japan, of course, the only civ that starts with the wheel, which makes them such a fun MPT civ to theorize about or theorize with, strategize with, whatever. And he gets onto those Celtic horses, which, you know, there's civs that rely on their horses more so than the Celts, but still, it is a pretty nice one. And look at this one over here. Obi taking a very aggressive role with the warrior. What was a decent call here, because honestly, you don't want to let him get onto the hill, especially if you're so low on warriors. And yeah, he takes the aggressive role, and he gets rewarded for it. So who am I to judge him, right? It ended up working out just fine. Now, in terms of spawn locations, let's assess this a bit, because I just saw that the Celts are the one with the very unlucky spawn here. They are the ones with no iron very, very close to them here. And everybody else, you can see, maximum 3-tile distance to their iron. But the Celts and the Zulu are the ones with the far iron. How's it look in terms of horses? Aztecs with the far horses and the Incans as well. Doesn't matter as much, I would say. Really, the only really rest-dependent civs in this one are the Indian horses, which are there, and the Celtic iron, which isn't really. So I'll be looking forward to how these guys solve it, and how these guys end up hooking their ass if they actually end up being able to. See, she's just saying the same. He's looking forward to getting those horses, and yeah, SDN just complaining a little bit here about his non-river start. Luckily for the southern team, Cheese ended up getting one of the river starts, and with the furs as well. So yeah, if he really wanted the commerce, he could go for those furs, although working those is painful and not worthwhile. So yeah, probably not gonna happen if I had to guess. First settler out of anybody is Rever, out of all people. I didn't really expect the Japanese to be the ones, especially since they're center of the map, but looks like Rever is not deterred by that. Feels very safe. He's got some really nice vision set up here, as you can see. Another warrior onto this hill maybe, and he's completely safe against anything the enemy could muster. So I like his early strategy, and it allows him to go for the settler, actually. Yeah, can't complain about that, can you? Looks like she's having some close encounters with barbs over there, but it's fine, it's fine. And yeah, D4 is what they're suggesting for the checks right now. Yeah, it's not that far off, but it's difficult. Looks like they really haven't explored that western end of the map yet, since SDN looks busy exploring his south for now. What is he talking about? They killed his scout. That is a good point, but what is he talking about with impies? Teammates don't have impies. Bit confused here for the time being, but it is what it is. Pretty unlucky spawn here for Midas. He's the lowest ranked player in this game, and that should tell you about the overall quality of players here. He's just barely not first page, I believe, at this current moment. And he's been playing pretty well recently, so I can't complain about the player level that I got here on average. Looks like they're contemplating a hit here onto SDN soon-ish, but I believe him to be able to produce those MP pretty soon here. Out comes the warrior out of Zimbabwe. Now, is this another 1v1 roll? He goes for the hit onto the forest. Wow. I think, wow. Why would he hit that? That couldn't have been intentional, but he gets rewarded for a crazy roll here onto the forest, and even gets the promotion. So that's pretty much best case for HardradaMPT, and that's big pressure onto the Zulu, who aren't really used to that. Although we saw this in the other MPT turn quite a lot when we had the Aztec Zulu matchups. Aztecs were able to keep the Zulu down early usually, just because the Jacks are available earlier than the Impy, but as soon as the Zulu get their GA and start clearing out these initial choking Jacks, they usually start taking over the map, since their units are just that much harder to clear out. We'll see as the turn ends what Archie was able to accomplish there in Zimbabwe. Still, and SDN bemoaning the fact that he's getting pressured or annoyed a bit at least. Should still be able to deal with that relatively fine, but you know, he's just not been able to put the pressure onto India so far. And if one thing's been proven here, by as far as this goes, is if you've got a nice team comp, if you've got, for example, the southern team, you have the early pressuring Aztecs, you have the very well scaling Celts, and then you have the Indians who can't build very well, but still provide huge value later on with all the gold that they're saving. If you got a comp like that, you're able to deal with a very potent enemy team comp as well if you get favorable enough map roll, is what I would say, right? Because despite the enemy having high tier Zulu and Incans, so far the early game has gone swimmingly for them, I would say. And especially India untouched yet, just because Aztecs been able to pressure the Zulu as hard. Now, if the Zulu had spawned in the Japanese spot, that might have been an entirely different story. But of course, we don't know that yet. And this is looking pretty decent so far, I would say. Huh. Wets always win. Yeah, that's the rule. Veteran Jaguars beat anything. I should have remembered that. All right, Rever going for the no con. A lot of fighting going on in Zimbabwe right now. SDN going forward there with the archers, trying to clear out a few Jaguars, going medium well, I would say. And I'm not sure what exactly Rever was no conning for. But yeah, maybe he cleared something out at home. I didn't quite catch whatever, but he's pretty weak at home, so maybe he just had to make sure that he's not getting ambushed from everywhere. Looks like he's lost a sentry or two, or at least he's left his favorable sentry positions. I wonder why he's moved up these warriors, because I liked his position that he had early there. Looks like SDN is their ironworking guy, so they still don't know that yet. He feels like he's in trouble there. I think he's more scared than he needs to be, right? I feel like at this point you can afford to make a second city, as Cheese apparently looking funny at Rever's defenses here. We'll see if he ends up trying to roll for that road, but if nothing else, he's managed to make Rever uncomfortable enough as the Celts clear out that horse hill warrior. He's made Rever uncomfortable enough to leave his sentry spot on the mountain, and that's been able to be claimed by Midas in the meantime. Cheese goes onto the forest, pretty decent tile for fortification. And yeah, Rever with his two cities relatively safe, but gotta make sure not to slip up and get caught with your pants down in the meantime. Looks like he's still relatively thinly defended there at home. Interesting Jesus strategy here. He's maybe looking for a very few city count GA War Elephant stack. We'll see about that. Looks like Artio was able to escape with that Jaguar, so gets to heal that one up. Very important for potential great leader roles, but he saves that investment, right? And SDN, while able to reclaim his land, doesn't really get kills onto those Jags yet. Cleared out two so far, I believe, but of course there's an unknown number coming still, so it looks like he's still very much concerned about the defensive end of things. And as Obi's getting his third city out, we see Arch also going for his second one. I don't love the plan that he's looking at here, but we'll see if he changes that in case they haven't gotten the ironworking just yet. Not sure there. India war onto Japan, it looks like. Oh, he's trying for the road apparently. Oh no, he's just going for that worker actually. Wow, ends up getting it, but decent job here for oh, yeah, whatever. Cheese. Cheese with a quick move, probably able to get that worker, but Rever just spamming into that worker with his warriors, able to constantly reset the disband mechanic, and therefore able to hold on to his worker, which is pretty big. And Cheese himself not quite sure whether or not he got that disband off. Ended up not being the case, losing that aggressive warrior that frees up a ton of space for Rever as well. And the game plan's just been formulated here. The Aztecs alongside the Indians are looking at a Zulu killer, and we see the classic triple city chariot stacking by Cheese, I would imagine. All size 1 city, so he's gonna need a while to take off here. But with all the enemies occupied at home, He looks like he can afford to do just that. SDN finally with the settler out himself, looking to plant on the forest forest tundra here, not the greatest spot, and he's got to be really careful with that elite jack that's still hanging around back there. I'm surprised he's wow, and he even moves the worker there. Interesting. So is he gonna move that settler somewhere like this? That would be a little too aggressive for my taste, as Archiver has a quick view at what's going on in Zimbabwe. Doesn't quite know about where that settler is just yet, but I think he can figure because he's got vision all the way up to here, and there goes the chop. So SDN's really gonna move that one over. He needs to get some impies now, because you can't build an unroaded city if you don't have impies to make up for that. So yeah, that's a bit of a head scratcher here, especially him feeling unsafe anyways. He really shouldn't go for all too risky plans. I would have liked to see a plan just on the horses here. I don't see any downside to this plan. You don't need the coastal city, there's no Vikings, and that's tons of BGs that you can unlock there. As well as, of course, just the regular defense bonus of the hill. So that would have been what I would have liked to see. Not what he ended up going through with though. And there he goes. Looks like end of turn. Wow, gets that settler onto Alundi. And there we go. We get the hit onto Alundi immediately. And they just take him out just like that. He didn't take into account both the Aztec and the Indian threat. That was just a little bit too reckless a plan here for his second city. He was right in that he needed to get a second one off, but it wasn't quite enough for him there, and you really got to call into question his reluctance to build impies there. You needed that to defend yourself early. I think he just needed to uh, play the hand that he was dealt and go with the excuse me, and go with the and take the early GA, right? Because that's the only reason why he wouldn't have gone for an impy is to avoid the GA, but wasn't safe enough. Uh, Poor SDN here, really getting ganged up on. It happens, I guess. It happens. That's how it goes. I don't know why they gave him Zulu. He never plays him well. All right. Rapback with the shots here as the resident MPT connoisseur. Um, yeah, he lets them know. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm asking for reload or new map. Because, yeah. That was an unlucky roll for him, of course, but happens. We'll see what they want, a new map or a reload. Until then, we're trying to get that lobby back up. And that is correct, Tal. No impies were built in this game. Unlucky, unlucky. People a bit slow to get into the lobby here. We'll see if they. Yeah, they start coming in slowly. They have the choice, Rever and Obi, whether to reload or to do new. Looks like they are electing to reload. So that's what we'll do here. It's Obi. What else would have been expected from him? He takes matters into his own hands and tries to turn this ship around. So back in we load. Oh, that's it. Okay, we'll see how we do this. We'll see how we do this turn with the kill. Although, are people not getting in? Did the launch fail? Looks like people might not have gotten into the lobby. Second screen. Maybe somebody refusing to reboot Steam. All right, there we have the culprit. That's it. She's admitting to the fatal mistake here. Not rebooting Steam. It happens. Happens to the best of us, especially to Suede. No offense. But we're getting that one out as quick as we can, of course. Rebooting again and getting the reload up. Yep, Archiver drawing the correct conclusions here. It's been proven that India is just a better Russia Civ than Zulu. It happens. Maybe SDN wants to join the stream. Who knows? Maybe he can offer his expert opinions, his first-hand testimony in chat. Not maybe he goes to bed. Who knows? It's getting a bit late here in Europe, so wouldn't judge him. We don't even need an AI. I completely forgot, but yeah, he lost the size 1, so we don't need to replace him at all. Yep, poor Obi. Poor Obi. Learning that it wasn't not in fact a that was not in fact a capital kill, but instead the no city capture size 1, the one you really love to see. All right, everybody getting in this time, it seems, at least. Oh, come on, load, autosave, of course. Hope I got the correct save here. Seems like it, yep. There we go. We're about to get back in here. Everybody in the lobby. Loaded the correct turn. Looks like SDN's really got a reputation for his Zulu, but we'll see. Yeah, looks like it. Really looks like it. Rapdex assessment getting confirmed by some members from the lobby here. So I'll trust that you guys know what you're talking about with SDN there. Alright, is everything still fine in terms of build and tech? Yep. Okay, so there we've got it. The size 1 kill that Cheese got with his warrior there. And of course in tandem with Archriver's Jaguar. Now it's just up to the remaining 2 guys here in the north to work a miracle. Now this gives big chances here to the southern team to do whatever they want, really. They can just use the Celts as a sort of stalling, well, cushion. So I wonder, I really do, what Obi and River's best move is here. Because it's tough. They're not outgrowing the enemy. They are in a fine spot, don't get me wrong, in terms of the... Oh, are we dropping it? It looks like not... the turn timer isn't running, so that's the issue here. Uh, come on. It's not what we like to see. Oh, looks like... Oh. Could have been a... Could have been a... Alright, okay, it's an installation mistake. Good to know. Happened last time as well with Midas, now it happens with cheese. So that is what it is. It happens though, it happens. It looks like the first peasant was just built. So we've exposed cheese as a misinstaller. Ooh, looks like there was an error with his zip file extraction. Alright, it happens. At least we get these errors dealt with before the actual tourney, and we can help people that might have similar problems during the tourney assess their, well, troubleshoot easier. So that's always good, right? You're testing not only for balance, but also for typical tech stuff. That's what it is. That's what it just sometimes turns out to be. We get it set back up. Apologies for the difficulty, of course, but that's what modding does to you, I guess. People gotta be really diligent with the downloads and hope that nothing breaks on the way, so I'm not judging them. So we're waiting for Cheese to re-download, set it up properly, and then everybody to assemble in the reload. Gonna take a couple of minutes, I would assume. Alright, looks like gotta double check with cheese. Ah, what a beautiful Friday night. We're getting there though. We're getting there. No worries. Okay, looks like we've got it all set up. So now we just need these guys to get into the reload again. That's cheese. Let's call them out by name. Oh no, it's only cheese missing, isn't it? Yeah, of course, SDN died. So that's just cheese. All good. He's posted a screenshot. He looks clean. And there we go. Everybody in the lobby again. So we switch back to the in-game overlay in a second. Did somebody not reboot Steam? Gonna be mad. The classic, really. All right, looks like people not that experienced with the stream reboots yet. We're all still learning, right? A bunch of new players in here. Please be patient with them. 15 minutes for that reload. That's just sometimes how it goes. Simulating some real MPT or CIV3 ladder experience. All right. Third attempt here. Oh no, fourth attempt actually. 2 Steam non-reboots and then the peasant crash by cheese. Okay, we're all in, and now we're launching for the fourth time into second lobby. Looks like the Steam reboots came in this time around. Okay. Looks good. Now we're in a good way here. All right, not bad. Not even people going AFK. Really can't complain about these guys. All right, there we go, launching for that fourth time. Yep, switch scenes. Okay, now let's see. Let's see what these guys can do. Again, this is the turn that SDN died on, and the turn that Rever is about to make his first peasant as well. Looks like I'm just trying to see. Just trying to make sure whether or not that Jack was dead last time. I don't really remember. That's the problem. So we'll see. All right. All right, looking fine. Making sure with the fair play here. There we go. Samurai out of Kyoto. And it looks like a peasant as well, since we've got all those spies. Yep, there we go. That's the first peasant. For those new in the stream who haven't seen this scenario before, sadly, I'm not able to show you guys the longships as Vikings weren't picked in this one. But still, Rever looks like he's going for his GA soon here. 2 cities. Maybe he's gonna get a third one before. Apparently, he's looking to catch some Celt warrior off guard. Maybe this one here, Midas, isn't as experienced with the mod just yet, so maybe he can be baited into giving Japan a GA there. Cheese, does he have his banks yet? That's a good question. He doesn't have high pop cities yet, so they aren't as valuable really so far. And all these Jaguars are now streaming on over to Japan. He's got to know that that's coming, especially since he's got the sentry, so he physically sees it as well. Now, what's his answer is the question, because he doesn't really have a lot of options. I guess he's looking to take that GA soon, and then not sure what he can really do. He doesn't have great rests. Although, did he plant on the iron? I know his iron's down here underneath the warrior. I didn't see that. See, he doesn't have any rest hook yet, so he's not in the greatest of spots here. Looks like Miles gonna have some gold issues since he's getting mildly choked at least, and doesn't have great commerce here. No river in the capital makes it a bit, yeah, hard on your coffers. Jack's coming over to Japan. That's right, and Cheese apparently doing some great gold stacking already. People have theorized, is India too OP? Do they just give too much gold for upgrades? Or are they underpowered? Can they just not make use of their unique unit well enough and have bad trades? The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, which I like. There we go, that first peasant. Kind of wasted here, you know, I don't want to be that guy, but if you send it onto the forest, you could have at least used the regular worker for that. But it's fine, you know, I'm not complaining. It looks like he needs that chop apparently. And Midas apparently also getting the rolls that he needs. He's looking for another city here, or more importantly, he's looking to colonize that iron, I expect, and then plant the city 1 tile south of it. That would be the logical play in my mind. So the goal that he really needs is not only for upkeep, but also for a Gallic upgrade, so just so that he can enter GA. I disagree with that spearman choice, but he really wants to make sure he holds on to his iron, is what I assume. So I get why he's making it. I would have still just preferred a regular archer there. Although we're only in a 6-player game at this point, so maybe the defensive bombard isn't as OP anymore. Still good enough though, I imagine. Barbs spawning at least. Now that SDN is dead, there's space on the map for barbs to be farmed. Doesn't look like the Japanese are going to be able to do that in this one anytime soon. but that's fine. Cheese has map making apparently as well, so wow, he's been attacking a lot, considering the fact that he's got banks, which really make it so you don't want to really attack that much. But, well, somebody's got to do the jacking, right? And he's got some nice commerce land, so it makes sense for him to do it. The jacks start coming into Kyoto now. Fighting going on for Sentry, and yeah, these Indian warriors that have transitioned over to the Eastern Front are cleaning up here. Is Rever just gonna take his GA now? It looks like this warrior is pretty easy prey, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Gets the kill without much trouble. That's a 2-city GA, but he really needs it in order to hold on to the pressure that he's going to be facing soon here. Japan GA, yep, Midas just realized what he's done. But yeah, it looks like Obi's also looking to get his own GA, but he's already got something of a stack going here. Wow, that's way more. That's way more swordsmen than I would have been expecting here. Honestly, look at this. Where does he have that gold from? Without even the GA, but yeah, who knows? No con, says Rever. He might have some trouble here defending against all those Jags that have moved in, and as that turn ends, no Jaguar movement apparently, but we have Tiwanaku, which, again, not the most accurate use of my emotes, but a very decent one nonetheless. She's farming more barbs, or at least defending against them. Fortify a Chesky. It looks like actually Rever feels comfortable enough to at least give the GA over to Obi. And I wonder what Obi's going to do with that. He doesn't have any horses hooked, so he's not going for the chariot stack. And he also can't make swordsman, really, since he's got the iron hooked. Or he can't make more warriors for swordsman upgrade, I should say. So what is he going to do in the GA that he just got from Rever there? Is he looking to swordsman per turn in cap? Is he looking to... Oh, what's the play here? That's what I'm wondering, really. He doesn't have a ton of pile improvement, but he's got the irrigation on the plains, which are great tiles in GA. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. No, there's definitely a direct purpose behind that GA. Maybe he's just gonna archer stack here. Who knows? Midas has spotted these swords apparently. Oh no, swords from Japan. Why would he say that? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. They must have mixed that up. Oh yeah, Cheese spotted them on the hill with his warrior. I imagine the Jags moving around a bit in Japan's line, but not pressuring his roads, interestingly. He's been rather tame with that. And Cheese is getting a couple of chariots out now. Maybe the best play is just to use the War Elephant for GA and then stack something else like warriors or something. Although that stacking that in GA is kind of counterintuitive as well. So I'm not sure exactly what you would want with that. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. He doesn't make a chariot stack. He just gets a couple of warrior elephants for GA, and he'll figure out what to do with that along the way. Maybe just actually just use it for the gold income. There we go. Midas expects 2 huge swordsman stacks, but Cheese has given him some wrong intel here. He thinks that's 2 stacks coming, but it's really only the one from Obi, and that's going to be scarier for Midas than it necessarily would have to be, because he expects 8 more coming from Japan, although where would that be coming from is the question, really. As movement occurs in the south as well as in the north, we have Cheese moving up his warriors as well. Midas making a point to defend his iron. Doesn't have a settler there yet, so he's not looking for the immediate plant, but he's got, of course, the iron colony. That allows him to get a few upgrades as well. Oh, look at these pants! Wow, those are some great looking pants over here from that Gallic guy. Look at him. This dark or light or well bright red and black. It's that looks really cool on them. You don't get to see that all that often, so I didn't know, but I love the bright red Galax for sure. And let's see if we can put them to use. If he can get himself a GA there. Looks like he just got the defensive bombard out there, and yo, he might get that hit, and yep, that's exactly what he does. He takes it, he gets that GA for himself, and that's going to be huge. Is Obi hitting into that? I don't. Oh wow, he actually is. That surprises me. Maybe he's hard committing to that route down south. Looks like he is, yep, so makes sense in that regard, but he loses a lot of HP on that elite swordsman. Rever moves up the jacks in Japan. He moves on to Osaka, and that could become dicey for Rever here. He doesn't have a lot of stuff in that city, although the southern jacks can't reinforce. Oh no, never mind, they could. He gets a couple of pillages off at least, it looks like, although Rever is allowed to trade into Arch favorably here. Good cover there on Revel's part, getting the samurai on the plains tile here, so at least cuts off the direct way to Osaka. That is pretty decent. GA here for Midas. Honestly, not bad. GA. Oh well, no. Oh yeah, Midas is down south, of course. Rever already had GA. That's not what I meant really. And yeah, she's doing exactly what I thought. Telling the Celts to just be a little, a pressure soaker here and allow the team to pressure the enemy themselves, which they are already doing. Japan can't expand at all, and they're, on the contrary, holding on barely here with all their cities. Obi at the end of the turn goes for the move north side of Arlesia, and he's cut the road to the iron, but more importantly, he's starting to pressure some cities now. How is he going to go about this? His stack isn't terribly large, but it might be large enough to capture the road between cities eventually, and that will then, of course, multiply the pressure by a lot here on Midas. Gets his fourth city out in the meantime. I like that as well. On the freshwater, of course, gives him the option to road horses as well eventually. Midas asking for a bit more gold, maybe just wants another Gallic or two. And I'm sure Cheese has got a lot of gold laying around because he's not gone for any big upgrades. I don't think he's taken a lot either. Maybe he's going for Middle Ages, who knows. At this point, he very well could be, because I'm not sure what else he's using that gold for. But we'll see what he ends up doing with it. The Iron Colony is safe here, my guy Midas, but how is it going at home? It looks like he's trying to hit out of Alesia into the stack. At least I saw a couple of rounds of combat go through there, but whether or not he hit, he gets his road pillaged now. And Obi's gonna move on onto the forest here. Looks like he's gotta leave that one swordsman behind because his pillage was a bit late, and he's gonna lose that unit exactly. Just like that. So Midas is trading pretty favorably here. That one road cut doesn't bother him all that much. Doesn't need any more Gallic upgrades for the time being. And trading one swordsman for one road is definitely fine at this point. This stack is starting to get chipped away at. So Obi really got to use the time that he's bought himself with the stack. That now that he's got his GA, really got to use that time to build up a new stack at home. And I imagine he's getting one per turn swordsman out of Cusco and archers out of the other cities. Is that factually accurate? Possibly, although it doesn't look like he's got any more swordsmen at home. No, all the swordsmen are up there on the Celts. So we'll see. Aztec and India now at war. Looks like GA was given over. That's why the Jag was there still in Delhi. GA for cheese now. Again, I wonder what he's doing exactly. It doesn't... Well, maybe he's actually just building war elephants. Hard building them in GA. Rever sending some archers out to finish off the northern Jaguars. Maybe able to close that line again here to wall them off from his backline. That would do him great favor. Could plant another city here and maybe a backline one over there for the unit support, so he looks a bit safer then. Midas still holding on there at home. Obi doesn't have a ton of them right now, so it's not looking completely dire and all. But what are they currently considering? What are they considering? Cheese doesn't really have units there, so he can't clean up that stack, especially not on a forest. I don't think that's a favorable trade. I think you should just let him remain here for the time being. Hold on to your roads, and maybe get Katas if you really need them out. But no, what is he talking about? He's not talking about... Oh, no, there's just one defensive bombard in there, so fair enough. But Obi moves on end of turn. He's actually Is he looking at that hill, or is that river hitting down from that hill? No, it looks like Obi's actually trying to capture that hill, interestingly. Maybe just for that worker's sake, but interesting. Very interesting. He actually just wanted that hill probably just to defend a bit better here, but his stack is starting to splinter apart here, and you can see the result of that. Moves off his archer, doesn't have that defensive bombard anymore, and now he's getting picked apart here. At least he got a worker, he got a road pillage off of that, but he also gave GA over to the Celts. He's really got to make his own GA count now in order to still have a chance at something here, because that stack's going to be gone by next turn, I feel like. And then it's going to be all the pressure on Rever, and really not much more than that. Archiever moving up those Jaguars now. Not in range of Inca this turn, but you know, that's the problem with those quick units. You never know where exactly they're going. Outspeeds Rever for the chase attempt, and that's of course the beauty of your two movers, right? You're so nimble and don't really get caught out. Whereas the same cannot be said about Obi's swordsman stack that's now been annihilated fully. Archriver realizing that his Jaguars have somehow ran out. I think he's just planted on the iron, right? And that's why he can't build any more Jaguars. So I think that's how it's supposed to work. So tough luck, buddy. He's got a real nice empire in terms of score though, and despite only having one work yet, so his tie's not being all that great. Uh, he's looking fine. He's gonna get another city soon, so him just building archers, getting more cities, providing scores, all that his team needs from him, I assume. Obi with a surprisingly high score as well, and wow, I didn't even see that. Archie was already worked on the naval defense line up here. He might have some units in there. Is he actually going for a landing on Ollantaytambo next turn? We'll see about that. That could be potentially devastating there to Obi, and would almost certainly end the game if he got that kill there. No road yet done there. And I really like that play. He moves over those Jaguars from the Japanese to distract attention a bit over here at Tiwanaku, and he could deal the killing blow at Ollantaytambo as a result of that. That'll be interesting whether or not he's able to get anything there. I'm not sure he's got anything in those galleys anyways, but I very much assume he does, since he doesn't really have any other place that he would need units in right now. At least archers are to be expected in there. No con archer assassin. Yep, that's the goal signal. He's gonna land that city, and there's not gonna be a road. I think he's got a really high chance of actually getting the kill there. Is this the game ender? Are Aztec, India, and Celts just gonna take the win over Zulu, Japan, and Inca? Are Cheese, Midas, and Arch taking this map off Rever, Obi, and SDN? Could very well be. I don't think Obi sees this coming at all, and here come the galleys. He moves them wrong though. He needed to land onto Ollantaytambo, and he only... Wow, I don't know whether or not he got that landing off. That'll be close, and we'll see whether or not it works. The road also finishes just in time. That's huge. He could have gotten that roaded tile with the landing directly onto the workers, but he wasn't able to do it in time. Now Obi's reinforcing with his last units, but it's not looking great here. I think combat has gone through, and Obi, oh lord, it looks like his two, or not Obi, excuse me, Archiver rather. It looks like his two archers didn't unload in time. That's so unfortunate for him. Had he just unloaded onto that horse, or had he been able to get the landing onto the worker, which of course requires a lot more micro, that kill would have been through. But so he just barely gives Obi the chance to reinforce out of Cusco, and now as well, of course, from Tiwanaku. That was a close call, man. And Obi, despite having built up probably a really good amount of archers during his GA, he's almost got taken out there. And that's just cruel from Obi, separating the Celts from their iron. Wow. Oh, man. How's this gonna go through? Reinforce comes in time, and yeah, Arch just slams the units in there, because why not, right? You've got to go for the roll. He's getting some nice rolls, and Obi, just to make sure, puts another archer in there. So there we go. Oh lord, There's no chance. Does he get this one to safety? No, he doesn't. Oh, wow. How unfortunate it was that he almost got it off. It took him quite a while to reselect that. I wonder why. But lol, that was a close one. That could have been massive as well. I don't know what Rever said earlier though. I saw Rever just earlier this turn saying that all enemies. Oh no, never mind. He was just saying that all enemies had been cleared out. I just misunderstood that. All good. So he's bought himself a little bit of space as well, and that's why he felt comfortable enough to go for Tokyo. Archery with a near kill there on Obi. That was a close one, and Obi himself now heavily pushing into the Celts. How's this gonna go? Huh. Yep, Cheese really wants to know. That's gonna be interesting. Cheese is looking for the immediate response onto Kori Huayrachina if Obi ever moves out with his archer stack there. And boy, was that a disappointment for Archriver. He's got the landing off, and he had a chance to get the kill too, had he just gone a bit earlier. But he couldn't have known, of course, that the workers were on that tile. Well, you could argue that he could have known in the sense that if you select that tile and you see it's not roaded and not irrigated yet, you probably can put one and one together and assume that it's currently being worked. But you know that's just a lot of speculation there and a lot of mental work to put in. So I get why he wouldn't have really suspected that. It just barely wasn't supposed to be, I assume. Northern team now running low on gold as well. I assume Obi should have a decent sum of gold stored up. He didn't really upgrade all that much after the initial swordsman upgrade, but we'll see. He's just getting his elephants into position, and you can see right here he's in the middle of his team. He feels completely emboldened to send all the units to the front line. That's exactly what he's doing. He's getting maximum pressure that he can out of that, and since that's two movers, just as he says, he can reach either enemy whenever he needs to. More galleys being loaded here apparently by Archiver, although the tiles are slowly starting to get picketed. He's loading with archers is what Midas is saying, and he's talking about Korihuayra of course. That Incan forward plan is very bold, and it's Obi's way to try and deny the Celts, keep them slow, and maybe eventually kill them as well. And that's what Midas has been saying. Yep, he just needs gold to sustain his army to keep himself safe. And that's all that he needs to do in order for this game to work out in his favor. Looks like Cheese just inched forward for a second here onto the instance with his elephant and it's been found out by Rever. Again, he can hit either enemy here with a double move from these elephants. So I wonder if he's actually gonna go for that sometime now. We see the worker move out from Alesia. So that's the agenda right now for Midas, is rehooking that iron to get a couple more Galax. But before that's able to be completed, I expect Obi to move out with his archers, and he's already looking to reclaim the tile south of the iron, and it's looking good for him. Out move the archers. Now he's not really showing his hand here. He doesn't show how many units he's got. He doesn't show which direction he's looking to commit to. But Cheese potentially able to prepare his elephant movement soon here. We'll see what he's going to be able to do with those. He's got a nice little stack here that if any enemy city is under defended or doesn't really expect the hit, he could take him out rather quickly. Looks like Archiver's archers starting to be shipped back over here to Obi. I wonder if he's gonna get another decent landing spot. Doubt it, but maybe he can figure something out. Could also send one around north, of course, to try and catch Rever, of course, but he has a rather small empire, so probably able to reinforce in most realistic circumstances. Cheese again is very much focused on getting a double move onto Kori Huayrachina if necessary. I wonder where he would go though in order to do that, because the only available tile right now is this forest, and that's not the best possible location for him to opt into. Turn ends. Obi further front loading his cities there. Minimal defenses at home just for the picketing. And Cheese keeps on streaming all the elephants to the front, and that's all he's building. And in the meantime, he's probably generating absurd sums of gold. Look at that. He doesn't have a ton of units. He's got 20 units that he's got to support. 12 of those are carried by his cities, so he's paying 8 gold per turn for unit support, and he's making that times many. I don't know how many times actually. That would take a little bit longer to actually calculate that. All I can say is he's making a lot of gold. He's even joining worker there in Delhi. Wonder what that's for. Maybe he's really just looking for the 1 per turn here right now for these war elephants. Looks like Rever and Obi are planning something actually on the Celts rather soon. I just don't think they have the wiggle room in order to do that, because Cheese is in position by now, and Rever keeps annoying them YRC, and that's just beautiful, Cheese. I love to see it. Hey Pug, I'm sorry I didn't catch you. Elephant and Samurai are nerfed in terms or in comparison to regular Civ. Yep, I didn't catch you joining in. Always happy to see you again. Happy belated birthday, of course, once more. Yep. In case you're still here, here I have the link for you. It's just a 5-minute video explaining the 3 new civs. This is just MPT. We're just playing regular MPT like in the last tournament. So it's a little bit shorter than normal MPT. Shorter turn time and everything. Or turn limit, excuse me. And everything. But what's really important is that there's 3 new civs. 2 of which were in this game or are in this game. India and Japan. And War Elephant and Samurai are very much different from their identity in regular vanilla Civ. So, yeah, just a quick watch of that video should explain everything that you need to know. And this is the patch that I'm looking to use for the next tournament. That's why we're balance testing it right here. In goes Obi stack though. So he's committed now onto Alesia. Cheese did not get the note in advance that this is happening, so wonder if he's gonna start to move in here. He's got that forest as a means to double move onto China if he needs to. There's still a lot of units for Obi to reinforce with this, so I don't think he'd just roll over and die like that. We'll see though. She's apparently also going for swordsman now. Looks like he's stacking a few warriors or something. Yeah, this is probably where the game's gonna be. Oh no, never mind. Never mind that. I thought the Incans moved in with an enormous stack, but that wasn't actually the case. What do they have? Okay, they do have quite the stack, but this stack is probably just meant to cut the road and then ease the way for the major stack that is probably sending afterwards. Although again, I'm not sure he can afford that. And wow, it looks like Rever caught that stack here for a second because he's talking about a enemy stack moving, but maybe he's just talking about his own stack. Yep, that's more likely. All right. He's got his own stack out, and that's why Obi's started to move up into Alesia. Iron rehooked for the Celts, though. Can't be underestimated. The unit's now withdrawn back home to defend, but there we go. The Japanese stack's also on the way, and this could be Cheese's hour, because you know the enemy is gearing up for an attack really soon here. And you have the option to both Obi and Rever really pressure at home and catch out. Maybe if you can hide your elephants from either of them, could sneak them around through the gems maybe, and then attack Japan at home while their stack is out. That could be an angle for him. Let's see how he plays it. Although never mind, his stack's already been spotted. I'm a fool here. Moves forward, checks this stack out. There's a lot of archers in there, so you can't just simply hit into it with all your elephants. Baits that one swordsman movement out, so that's one more turn that it'll take that swordsman guy to get to Alesia. Good job, Cheese, I guess. And Midas calling for Cheese to just go for the double move, although at this stage it's not possible anymore. The double move has been blocked by the swordsman archer. He could still go for it with a stack attack and then move through, but doesn't look like that's what he's going for right now. Obi moves the stack forward. He's looking to cut that road real soon, But Cheese, I don't think. Wow, that was a close call. I don't think he really got that move off. And at the same time, Archie moves forward onto Cusco. He at least gets one of the landings off onto the hill near the Incan capital. And wow, the other boat actually has enough movement points left to follow up. These 4 units aren't going to be winning the war here, but they're forcing Obi to keep stuff at home, and that makes him more susceptible to both Cheese's elephants as well as, well, just slowing down his attack at Alasia as well. So who knows how that'll turn out for him. I think India have a fair bit. That's correct. They've got a couple of elephants around. I'm not sure how much you can afford. This is really just a game of guessing right now. How strong is the enemy really? How many units can I commit? Because he doesn't need to keep this entire stack at home, I don't think, but maybe half of it would suffice to fend off India. I think any help that you could provide for Obi right now on the Celts is going to be valuable, and he needs it soon because he's getting cleared out on that road already. I wonder if he's going to be able to pull that pillage off in the end. But yeah, that's more like it, River. Just got to make that move happen, because otherwise you're slowly bleeding out and the pressure's only gonna increase on you at home. That's the thing, these oil funds aren't gonna magically disappear. So I commend the decision, and there we go. Wow, Obi wasn't even able to get that road pillage off. His initial stack was not sizable enough, and that's tough news for him. I wonder how they'll manage to get these Celts beat now, because that road really would have done them a huge favor. Up moves the stack from Rever. He's still committed to the plan though. His only issue is maybe that he's now again double movable. The elephant's also not within his vision right now, and that could make him think, where did he move? Did he move further north? Did he send them more south towards Obi? Or is he looking to recapture the Celtic city? You don't know that if you don't have perfect vision, and right now they don't see the bulk of Cheese's stack. Galley out defensively for Japan too. I appreciate that. Decent choice. Maybe that's not only a defensive measure either, but yeah, the Aztecs starting to stack some scores, so even trading 1-for-1 with them for River at this point probably would be worth. At least not before he gets his stack through, though. On offense, that's got to be number one priority at this point. And yep, looks like he's actually also sending those galleys out. Obi planted in new, he says. He's given decent intel over to Cheese, although the war elephants really aren't in position right now to strike Fuamanga. It is a decent target for him nonetheless. It is reinforceable, but only one way, and in combination with the archers here and of course the pressure on the frontline city in the first place, could be difficult for Obi to juggle everything at once. But at this point you really need to take your chances here, because you're not gonna win by just playing standard and trading evenly. And it looks like Jesus changed his mind here. I don't like it though, because you already know that the Japanese stack is gonna come moving in here and he's gonna block your way through and expose your elephants. There he goes. Rever moves down end of turn with that stack, and it's 20 turns left in this one. Remember, 72 turn limit on our tournament maps. Now he gets blocked by Rever's stack here, and that's a funny little situation here. Now, I would really like it if the Celts moved off the Iron Colony. That would be a pretty good move in my mind, because what you accomplish by that is you allow Cheese to move through, and the enemy probably doesn't expect it. Right now, Rever thinks if he just keeps his units on this road here, Cheese can't move through, but that mountain could still be emptied, and that'd allow Cheese to get through there. Alright, so Rever is thinking about taking that very costly trade into the Spearman Archers above Alesia. What's Obi got to back him up there? We'll see about it. We can't read his chat, sadly, but we'll see what they're cooking up right now. Aztecs with those border expands. Arch in a bit of a boring spot here. He's in the corner and his neighbor's been killed off already, so can't do a whole lot there on the Aztecs right now. Maybe just loading up a couple more boats. He's established a beachhead on Obi at least. Forced him to even make a galley too, so he is still having value in that game. No doubt, but you know, that's not yeah, that's just not a fun spot to be in as the Aztecs is my point. All right, Obi. Well, where is Obi's stack actually? Oh no, he's talking about the Japanese stack. Because Obi's stack hasn't moved in just yet. Cheese is getting ready for that move. How is he gonna do that? Rever going for the stack hit onto Alesia, and that's really nice because that doesn't allow Cheese to move through before the turn ends. Now, I don't think he's got the move off at the end of turn either, so he loses all the moves on these guys, but it delays Cheese double move by one turn. There, and that's it. Yeah, Rever getting unfortunate here, and that's what happens to me every time I try to pull this BS tactic as well. I never get the combats resolved in time for some reason, and I can't get my units to save their movement points. But, well, that's what it is. Obi moved in with his archers as well. How will they do that? Will they just hit Entermon and Alesia? Will they go for the road again? I wonder. I really do. Could be a close call, but could also be a close call for Cheese to double move onto Huamanga and just taking him out. Take Obi out before he even can get the hit on the Celts off. So it's dicey for them, no doubt. No boats out yet for Japan as well. At least not, just defensively so far. Where is Aleppo? He means Alesia, lol. That's what he's talking about. I was just thinking there's no Hittites in this one, is there? But no. She's still gearing up for the move onto Huamanga, it seems. He's been convinced by Midas to alter his target there. What's he doing now? He's moved that first one up, but I still think he's going through to Huamanga. He also moves into Tokyo. He moves a lot of units at end of turn, but there goes the double move. What's he going to be able to do with that? Korihuayra China finishes those wars, but he's going for Huamanga now, and Obi's got to start reinforcing quickly. It looks like it's an uphill battle for him, though. There's no way he's going to get those reinforcements off in time. He's getting another one, but it takes ages, and they are just too weak on defense. He gets another one, but wow, he now even moves that swordsman. Tough luck for him there. Gets another archer just in time, but he just doesn't have the units available, or does he? The swordsman does him great favor. Looks like he's getting good rolls with that one. Although, has the attack ceased is the question now. He gets the kill in Alesia at the same time. Alright, this is looking weird. Well, or did he? Did he? Now let's check. Is this... Yep, the kill is coming through, excuse me. Obi gets the kill onto the Celt. So Midas has been taken out. I'm still unsure what happened at Huamanga though, because that looked a bit suspicious too. We'll have to reload apparently, and that is unfortunate really, because we now have Obi in a weird situation here where I think something wrong happened with this elephant combat, and we'll resolve that in dialogue. That's weird. Oh, that wasn't a mismove. Interesting. So wait, did he just stack move the swords from Kuarai China in there? Korihuayra China, whatever. Not bad. But yeah, that looked like a kill to me, by the way. That looked like a kill to me on Huamanga, because it really was empty for a long time then. I think Cheese lost the attack on all these elephants, but not sure what exactly happened there. Not sure that was... We are negotiating right now. Give us that time. Hmm. We're negotiating. We're negotiating. Oh boy. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah, you got it back here just in time, Rap Deck. Um, all right. What a turn here. Two big stack attacks going on at the same time, but wow. I do agree. That looked pretty suspicious there for OB, but it's just how this game works, right? Uh, okay, okay. All right, looks like we're calling this one here. And we'll see if we can get a second one up for these guys. Okay. All right, looks like we might get a second one going in case we have the players. I'm not sure if SDN is still around. Uh, he might have drawn a new MPT though. That would be fine as well. We'll see. It looks like everybody's still available, and SDN is a question mark. All right. Do we have SDN still here, or is he in a? Oh, he's watching Jesus stream. Maybe he's available. All right, looks like everybody is still around, so we can get the rematch with the exact same teams. Let me copy the map, or yeah, let me set up the file. You know what I mean. All right. Um. Okay, this one looks fine and well prepared. Very different type of map, but it looks all fine. I hope I did my homework properly there. Hmm. All right, come on. Everybody said they were here, barring SDN. Or did they just checking? Yeah, Cheese is still here, Obi is still here. And then only SDN is missing, yep. Come on. Oh, come on, come on. You want that rematch? I'll send out invites, I guess. All right, we'll see. All right, we're setting up. We're setting up. Let me put up a timer, actually. Okay, okay, okay. And I need the drive. We might be getting a sub here for SDN. So if we end up doing that, we gotta have that scenario installed, of course. Okay, slowly filling that lobby. Only cheese missing and SDN slash Halu. Okay, let me. Yep, cheese is here. Okay, so we only need the last guy to join in here. Where do I have that? I'll go AFK for a short minute here to go to the bathroom. Oh, it looks like SDN is here though. Nice. Okay, we've got everybody here. So I'll put that timer up for the reload and everything, and then we'll get going with that second game. Be right back. Okay, guys, here I am, punctual at the end of the timer. We're already in the lobby screen making our CIV picks here. This will take a while. We're still making the picks though. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay, yeah, again, we're just making these picks here. Give us that second to make them though. Hello, people are cruising. Wow. Oh, right, that was some. Wait, what's the picks now? Let me check if everybody got what they needed. 3, 4, and 7. Okay. People finishing up their picks. Looks fine. What do we have? 2, 5, 6. Oh, jeez. All right. There we go. We're launching in. Now. Let's just hope that I set this up properly. I would be very sad if I didn't. All right. I'll show you guys once it's all set up. Don't worry. All right. Looks like we got in just fine. So now it's about planting those splines. I guess I can show you guys the process of doing that as well. Doesn't hurt, does it? So yeah, here we go. We're setting up the spectator mode, and you guys can watch us do that. All right, now I'm just setting up my spies. Basically, you can also already take a glance at the map if you want. Again, I'm just setting up all the necessary steps here. So yeah, we'll have to reload after this turn 1. Anyways, So it won't be all too exciting, unfortunately. So what I gotta do is get those embassies out before these guys finish their turns, and then we go into the reload. I've gotten great, oh no, not embassies, spies of course, but gotten great RNG on the spies today. Not a single one missed during the first game. And it's looking decent so far in this one. Nice. The elite spies doing their work, doing what they're paid to do for once, although this one finally misses on the Iroquois, on Midas. Oh, Obi is not having it either. So the last one not planting immediately apparently is... Who is it? Vikings got it. The Incans are missing. Okay, we'll see whether or not Rever decides to walk or plant here. If he plants, we could get that spy out still, but we'll see. Okay. Well, he might actually walk. Who knew? Who would have thought? Oh no, he didn't. He didn't. There he goes. Cusco planted. Spy, plant, spy. Alright, 2 misses. That's fair enough. We can live with that. Just making a save already to be sure. Guess I can disband all those leftover units that I don't need. People still talking about their attacks and stuff. That's always fun to follow along, of course, so you get a better insight into their strategy and everything. We're still reloading for spectator mode, so don't worry. That'll be fixed soon. We're already done for Japan, of course. Looks like nobody got an egregious color for this one, which is nice as well. Yep, all regular colors. Japan in nice green. No Celts or anything to mess that up. No Aztecs again. Instead, we have this time around with Egypt coming through in the Iroquois, the Inca and the Zulu from last game, and Vikings slotting in for the Indians. So we're waiting on these 2 last guys to finish up on their turns, and then we go into the reload for the spectator mode, as is standard procedure. Rever and Obi not ending turns yet. We'll see. Are they actually still discussing stuff? They're on the same team, so not sure there. Alright, there we go. Saved it. And we go for the reload. So give us that second while we reload for the spectator mode. That'll really not take that long. At least typically doesn't. I just gotta prep that stuff. Oops. Copied it into the wrong folder. That's what happens at 1 AM at night. All good though. And it's back up. Alright. Spectator mode getting set up here. People pouring into the lobby again. Nice to see. Everybody itching to get into this one. Last guy missing. Okay. Okay. In the second screen already. I know you guys really want to get into this one. We're almost there. There we go. Everybody got into the reload. Fine. And people not very happy with the land they have, apparently. We'll see. Okay. Just advertising this game too, starting on all relevant platforms. Midas. Come on, give me that check mark. You're holding up. Holding up the traffic. Don't do it. Come on. It's getting kind of awkward. One more check mark. Hey, alright. There you guys go. I'll show you. Oh, no. Ah, well, messed it up. Doesn't matter. The overlay is still fine, isn't it? Alright. Spectator mode looking good too. Here you guys go. That's a better site, isn't it? Minimap visible too. Alright. So we roll. How do we like this one? This is a nice looking map, in my opinion. But it's a very particular one. We've had one in this type of style last week already, but it's a bit different in that people have worse land overall. And yeah, whereas OB, he especially said that he had no BGs. Well, doesn't have a lot of them at least. And he's gotta somehow make do with that. The Vikings up north here we see have a coastal start. That's gonna be very well. They're gonna be very happy about that, is what I mean. I'm disbanding all my units just to maybe make the turn time a bit quicker there. So now I just don't have any. Yep, that looks nice. And now you gotta remember me, guys. You gotta remind me, guys. Sorry, in case I forget. In case I forget to get those missing spies out on Iroquois and Japan, I believe. But other than that, we're all good and set to go. Now, in case you haven't seen it yet with the teams, we have the same teams as last time around in terms of players. So that's Obi, Rever, and SDN versus Cheese, Archriver, and Midas. And they are set up in a alternating pattern here. So we've got Team A, Team B, Team A, Team B, Team A, Team B in a circle. That means we have Arch with Cheese over here, and then Midas down here. And it is a pretty big map for my standards. We've got huge distances between some of the civs here, but boating is very possible, and it's possible through a lot of angles. So I'm happy that Vikings actually got picked on this map, because they could end up doing a lot of damage here just because they have so many avenues to actually kill people from, and Obi is not even coastal yet to get early Kura span out. And for a fact, it's actually only one player per team that spawns coastal, and the Vikings ended up being the ones that did. Now, we'll see how well they deal with Japan and Egypt early, but we'll get an idea of that soon, I believe, because, again, it is a little bit more spaced out, but people typically end up finding each other rather quickly. Alright, just giving these guys some info that they might not have yet. Midas, not somebody that's played a lot of games here with my maps so far, but it's all good. These guys are mainly here to test out the balancing of those new civs, and they've done a terrific job with that so far. Now I'm hoping this game will go through a little bit more flawlessly than the last one did. So far, nothing gone wrong though, so I'm happy about that, and we shouldn't run into those tech problems again with the proper installation of the files, because Cheese had that issue last time, and we've fixed it, of course. So I expect this to be a little bit of a more, yeah, a little bit of a cleaner game here. Just in terms of viewing experience, most of all. Inca and Zulu inching around each other. Don't think these scouts have matched each other yet. And they are about to figure out, yep, that's it. Rever, the first one to spot an enemy, I believe, with that tile here. And he might have known about that direction already, and he's got really nice terrain here to move through, actually, with that Chasqui. Let's see how Cheese is going to be dealing with that one. He might be able to steal that hut away, but he's got to be aware of the imminent Inca threat. I don't think they saw each other over the hill here. I don't think that's possible. So that's interesting. This Chasqui is headed for the Zulu without them knowing just yet. I wonder whether he's going to go onto the hill and thereby expose himself to Cheese, or whether he's just taking the sneaky approach over the wines. Although either way, I think Cheese by that time will have moved up and see his position anyways. He better do that, because he really needs to get some intel here. He might also move on to the mountain though, although I think having spotted the Incans down here, oh no, he actually moves the warrior back. Not a bad choice, because you don't know what else is around you, but that again leaves him a bit vulnerable here. Rever isn't beelining to Zimbabwe exactly, but yeah, it's getting a bit scary for Cheese slowly, because he doesn't know where the enemies are as of now. SDN out of moves here already, I believe, so maybe just like last time, Cheese can outspeed him and save that scout, otherwise he's gonna lose that rather soon. 2 techs pop from Midas apparently on the Iroquois. Not even expansion, is just getting good pops apparently. And that's nice for them as well. Tech's not that expensive in this mod, but still getting them quicker and getting just store up more gold can be crucial, because gold is something that, unless you're playing with India, is rather scarce in my tourney maps. It's what I would say. And there we go, Rever and SDN already coordinating nicely, figuring out how they can pressure those Zulu. And that's also great intel for the Vikings, who know that Zulu are nowhere near them at all. And even Obi has been spotted out apparently, C4. That's a pretty good estimate of where he's at. Rever asking for no con. Is he going for the double move here? If so, he's got good chances here, although he shows a little bit early. That might give Cheese some time to react there. Zimbabwe stays empty. He gets the move in though. How's the roll gonna go? Cheese, just like SDN last game, ends up getting that roll. Wow. That's I mean, oh Lord, that was, he relied on outspeeding there. Fair enough, that might have been a war declaration involved there, and he didn't even get a warrior out because he's got a little bit of a rough one in terms of shields here. Oof. Oh God. Yeah, geez, yeah, that was yeah, he didn't even break a sweat there, I'm sure. And SDN again going for the pop rush here, I assume. Might have just pop rushed himself a granary or a barracks. Who knows, really? Barracks would surprise me. But yeah, good thing I remember. I gotta try for those spies once more. Iroquois, come on, don't be that guy. And Japan. Obi, don't fuck with me. Yay, there we go. And Obi's now spotted. C12. What type of grid is that guy using? C12? Does he have a different grid than I do? Interesting. He sees him, so that's not an estimate. That's just a rather bizarre way to have the grid. But maybe he's got a different one, actually. I don't know. Hey, Towel, how do you like this night's map? I think you didn't catch... Oh, no, you caught the start of last game. Oh, and I almost missed that. Oh, God. Can I get it off in time? Yep, that's Rever. And, wow. What is this? That is the most beautiful sight that I've ever seen. That's a clip, mate. That's a clip. What is this? These two guys on each other's arses this entire game already, and both of them burning caps because it's getting so heated. Oh man, that's funny though. That's funny. SDN finds out about that Zulu MP. Wonder how that's gonna go for Cheese now that Egyptians and Inca know about his whereabouts. Nobody else getting pressured at home yet, it seems. And wow, looks like the Vikings also. Did he go for a settler? He did. He's going for the immediate settler here. I wonder where he's going to plant. Maybe this one actually. It's coastal. He doesn't need the river and he's still getting good BGs, and that's exactly what he's going for. I like to see it. Second city out nice and early, is under no pressure so far, so he likes that. Looks like SDN's looking to go for the hit on cap actually, but that sounds a bit odd since the imp is in here. But we'll see what he actually means by that, what type of 1v1 he's looking for. He might also attack the imp because that would give him a shot at the worker and give Cheese GA if it fails. Goes for Zimbabwe potentially. Cheese wakes up that imp. He's ready to reinforce with Control Shift G, and I like SDN's patience here. Patience, excuse me. Japan clears out that first Scout Warrior again. We can notice a trend here from Obi, who's regarded as one of the best ancient players, by the way. He always takes these early rolls with Warrior versus Warrior in his land, as long as it's on flat land. And it pays off for him again here. You can't hate on that. Vikings now also been spotted by Rever of all people. He just walked all the way across map, that conscript warrior, and Cheese ended up reinforcing Zimbabwe. That must mean, oh yeah, look at this. Wow, Estion got a clean roll here onto Zimbabwe. Cheese with the rally point onto the BG. That was incredible. What a clean roll there. Vikings getting that that Egyptian. Oh no, what did they kill actually? Not sure, but wow, she's getting shafted here with that roll. Of course, after being lucky to survive the first one, he can't complain that much. But losing that warrior in cap fortified without even dealing damage, and that leaves him pretty weak at home. He can't afford to send any MP out just yet. It's not been forced into the GA yet, but that's the only positive that he can really take away. I wonder what Inca's doing. He's not got that second settler out yet, despite not being bothered so far. So I wonder what he's going for. SDN going for the road. Is Cheese gonna allow this? And wow, Rever. It's 8 a.m. for him and he's not taking it well. Wow. Oh lord, look at the RNG for Cheese again. He just lost a vet impy there and he's going for the roll again. Gets the retreat, it looks like, but wow. You hate to see it. Oh boy. That's a close thing here. Looks like, wow, looks like SDN took the roll into Zimbabwe. And fortunately for Cheese, he ended up living there. Oh god. What is this? I mean, I guess he stays alive. Let's see if he disorders again and equalizes reverse disorder score. Bruh, this one is such a tense one. He forgot to clear the rally point in Zimbabwe. He'll be reminded to do that now. At least he doesn't disorder. But let's see how SDN can utilize the pressure that he's got on the Zulu. Maybe coordinate with the Inca to give Cheese some trouble. Maps already researched apparently by Midas. The Iroquois haven't had really good time doing that. As per usual, no road yet towards the second city though. That's a really risky placement, being so close to the Japanese and the Incans. I don't like that actually. I don't think that could be ideal under any circumstances, but he's just going for the mines so far. Interesting strat, I say. SDN still looking for that wheel tech, and he's right, that's crucial because he needs to get to those horses, which aren't all that close anyways. As the turn ends, nobody under any imminent threat, it looks. Vikings with that second city out already. Same thing for Iroquois and Japanese. On the eastern part, nobody with that city number 2 yet, because there's way more action going on over there. So we'll see how they can hold up. Cheese holding strong on that side, while on the western part his teammates are expanding well, although Midas is opening himself up to immense pressure with the build that he's gone for. Obi on generally low pop. I wonder if he's gone for another settler. And no, he doesn't. That's just regular pop. Oh, never mind. Rever's got the same population. I'm just confused by looking at the agri, I guess. The Incans now with their settler as well. I guess he's gonna plant here. That's the only logical one that I could think of. And wow, didn't they go for wheel? Did they somehow? Oh no, Obi. Obi's got the wheel, but they don't have Con with him, do they? And now, wait, that can't be right. They're just, whoa, no, Midas just kills the scout from the Incans, but they would have had to have gotten the con with Obi before. There's no way he otherwise would expend, or yeah, would just waste his scout like that. And SDN really needs that wheel from Obi. I hope they've gotten it by now, but still, that's gonna be important for him. I expect him to expand towards those horses as soon as possible. He's gonna focus his work moves in that direction pretty soon. And we see Cheese now that he defended at home. He's moving out with those MP and trying to get some towards towards Incans as well. And what's going on up here? It looks like Rever just can't take any damage with that conscript. Conscript OP apparently. Cheese on iron working, it seems. Interesting. Well, makes sense. He's going for bronze working anyways. And what's Midas up to? He's down here as the Iroquois. I forgot. Oh, they might have mixed something up there with wheel, with who's taken wheel. Apparently some communication issues early for potentially both of these teams. And we'll see who's impacted most by that. I like the fact that he's feeling comfortable enough to send out these impies now, especially towards the Incans. He's got decent enough vision, and he gets onto their iron, which is, I mean, decent, and that's a good spot to pressure into Incan Heartland from as well. If he gets onto these roads, that's devastating for the Incans who don't have tools to get rid of Impy just yet. And oh boy, I like Cheese maneuvering with that northern MP as well. He hasn't shown that to the Incans yet, and that could come as a big surprise to them. So we'll see how he'll defend against all that. Looks like finally Artry was able to remove that last sentry unit at home. He's going to be able to build up a nice little fleet with berserks, hopefully. Egypt with their settler out, I expect him to settle here because he's typically someone that doesn't shy away from planting a bit further apart to get his rest. So what's Cheese gonna end up doing with these MP? He's still got the one in hiding up north. He's given up the position on the iron though, so that's what I expect. Oh no, good move by Rever. He's not getting baited to move these warriors out aggressively now, and he's rather trying to box in the enemy MP who are starting to flat out here in spades. Remember, Cheese has gotten his GA off of SDN hitting into Zimbabwe earlier. And with the GA, he's gonna get immense pressure onto the Incans. I wonder how they're gonna be able to deal with that. For now, they're just gonna be forced to warrior spam here. Check this out. He doesn't have a ton of them yet. He really needs to invest heavily into those, and he's planted rather far apart. I wonder if Cheese is gonna waltz into Tiwanaku end of this turn, or if he's gonna gather a few more MP before doing that. We'll get the answer sooner rather than later here as he moves up with this one. Doesn't show himself yet though, so he's being patient. Or maybe he isn't, no, he just forces his way onto that road. That's a big first step, and he gets the promotion as well. He can't feel comfortable with that. Oh, nice job though by Rever getting out that archer. It just doesn't do him any good. Now he's just hitting into it. He's getting rewarded, sort of. He gets that hit. Yeah, alright. That's pretty fortunate rolls for him after the initial misfortune of the archer. But regular archer into elite MP just isn't that good of odds. So he's still pretty well off with what he's gotten here. Can't complain about that. Kura out from Trondheim is something I love to see as well. Getting early reconnaissance of the potential naval avenues that you have to pressure the enemy is valuable intel in any case, even though you can't load them just yet. Looks like Cheese was trying for the worker here up north against SDN, but didn't get the roll on the horses. And Obi starting his work with his peasants at home, also looking fine. He's got that one sentry on the hill in Niagara Falls, which I like as well. 3 impies here is what Rever says. He's dealing with Cheese for now, and it's not going all too bad for him, but he's still got a lot more to deal with here, as you can see. SDN also getting the taste of him, but he's fine for now. Was fortunate enough to get a great roll on his warrior, and gonna get those horses really soon. And those are gonna give Cheese trouble, because they're powerful tools that trade pretty favorably into impies, and you can maneuver them around and make Cheese get better sentries and play more carefully at home overall. I don't like this move, by the way. Maybe that's the correct move, but that just looks too aggressive for me. Cheese can just maneuver around your warrior wall with those impies. They're just that mobile, aren't they? I'm not a big fan of that one. Let's hope he's safe enough at home, because I'd rather you keep all your warriors on your roads and in your cities, because you just don't have the units to make an offensive push yet against the Zulu here, I don't think. Of course, it's never a great spot to be Incans and be forced in this sort of a position against the Zulu. He had the early advantage in the matchup, since he got the Chasqui out, of course, before any impies were able to be built, just because, you know, that's kind of how Chasquis tend to work. But since Cheese has gotten that GA, it's looking like a real struggle for Rever to hold on there. Let's just pray for him that his warrior wall holds strong. But there goes Cheese spreading around. Tiwanaku makes another warrior, and that was a quick move. That was a really nicely orchestrated one by Cheese. Gets onto the forest really quick, and that's a lot of naked roads here for Rever. And I would ask him to reconsider that warrior wall, which isn't that effective, and instead maybe withdraw a couple of them onto his roads. He's not doing that so far though, and Cheese is actually transitioning his pressure up to the Egyptians as well. The tightrope with Zulu is always to not overcommit your MP onto one enemy, at least if they're competent. So if you respect them enough not to die to a 5 MP stack, just spread them out and send a couple to everybody, because that occupies so many enemy units at home and slows their expansion phase. Looks like he is getting still favorable trades into these regular warriors, or finally I should say. And Rever is getting into some hot water now. Cusco is not looking too pretty. He's still covered all his roads, but he's starting to lose a few of them now, and he's really not got the tools to take them back. Tiwanaku is under pressure, and he's working on that road, but it's just not quite finished yet. 1 HP Impy. Is he gonna be able to take it out? At least he's able to force Rever to withdraw, but immediately, or excuse me, to force Cheese to move out with that Impy. Immediately, Cheese reclaims that hill, and that initial warrior wall really didn't do what it was supposed to here for Rever. I gotta criticize that move for sure. Oh lord. War chariots being requested here for Rever. Now the good news is the horses have been hooked, and I'm absolutely positive that SDN has started working on those chariots already. But we'll see how quickly he's actually able to get some to Cheese. End of turn move here, and SDN gets a nice move there. More importantly is what's happening at Inca though. Still no road completion for him, and SDN not able to finish off that 1 HP Impy either. For now, Rever's just getting pressured pretty hard at home here. He's holding on to the forest, but he's got to make sure he doesn't lose that worker. I think he's got to move one of those warriors back onto the worker, because if he loses that, then Tiwanaku is pretty much isolated for good. And Cheese is, as you can see right now, he is smelling blood in the water. He's completely naked at home. He feels comfortable having pressured SDN a little bit again to just fully commit onto Rever here, who's lost his road. He's now covering that worker. As I said, you can't afford to lose these roads, and he's still, you know, he's not really committed to that southern one, and that's exactly where Cheese attacks now. Rever is ready to reinforce though, and he's lucky enough to hold on to it. Cheese loses a crucial veteran Impy there, and Rever's gonna be very happy with that. Looks like Obi's also been cleared out finally down here on the Iroquois. And Rever's closing in on map making. That's great by him actually. I was able to complete that attack while being pressured this hard. But it looks like he was able to still save enough gold for that. Oh boy, Cheese is really putting a lot of pressure out here, but for how long is he going to be able to sustain that as SDN is getting those war chariots up soon? What does he got here? He's gotten the first one out, and I expect him to spam them as quickly as he can. I like that from archery, but again, he's already got the Karath over at the east coast. He's explored the northern passageway. I wonder if anybody's gonna find the middle one at some point. No Kura's been spammed yet by anybody though. And I gotta call into question. Oh, never mind. Cheese has seized the southern road here and is getting pretty great rolls as well. The promotion for the MP2. And it's getting close for Rever. He's getting that kill off onto that MP at least. But look at this. He's got so many left to deal with. And he now loses the worker at Tiwanaku. That's a massive loss for the Incans. Does he get the pillage off as well? I don't think so, at least not just yet, but there's more imp coming still. Great news at least that SDN is starting to get those war chariots out, but Zulu know about that. Thebes looking a bit weak for the moment, but bro, they are both in a spot of bother. Is that a word? Is bother a noun? Well, today I learned. This is scary for Rever though. He feels, wow, he feels comfortable not to con end of turn. That can't be right as he's getting closed in on at Cusco. Does he have enough in those cities to defend against these loose impies that are walking around? In any case, he's not got enough to defend his roads, and Tiwanaku is now cut off for the time being. You hate to see it there for Rever. He's still got so many of these impies swarming out, and with the archer in Zimbabwe, he should be fine against the war chariot that's come out so far now. He doesn't have great vision up north, so he doesn't know if SDN doesn't have a small stack already somewhere in these forests, so that could eventually be worrying for him. Arch still exploring around that coast. That's a very good decision to drive around the entire continent once, so you can get notified whenever an enemy plants a coastal city that you can potentially take out then. But that's of course still a while away. For now, we have Obi looking to get his GA over there at Osaka, and we have Cheese closing in on Tiwanaku. I expect him to potentially hit that next turn. He comes down for Cusco as well. He gets vision everywhere. Is he actually hitting up north? It doesn't really look like it. And good roll over here from Midas. He survived and didn't give the GA over to Obi, it seems. So he's got to be a little bit more patient there. The Japanese are. Galley, meanwhile, for Midas. I wonder what he's got there. Maybe just a defensive one. But I wonder what exactly that's for. No real coastals yet by the enemies. At least no coastals that could be used offensively against you. Interesting consideration here. Cheese feels like he's got him dead to rights, but he's rather trying to set up the Iroquois for the kill here. Maybe because he wants to be friendly and give us a longer testing game, but could also be just because the Iroquois are in a better spot to capture cities, maybe. Maybe that's his consideration here as SDN moves in at Zimbabwe. I wonder if he's gonna hit, but no, Cheese was ready for this one and immediately beats him back, moves out with the imp, he gets the kill too. That was quickly and cleanly orchestrated by Cheese there on the Zulu, and he makes sure SDN doesn't get any intel, any pressure on him. The only real downside for now is that he's still stuck on one city and his GA is gonna run out somehow soon. That's a long ship out there for archery, but now he doesn't have Iron Hooked yet, so there's no berserks in there. But it's a worrying sign already for his opposition. And again, if as long as you don't plant coastal, it's not even that important if there's berserks in there. Just the overall side of a 4-move ship, something that you gotta take into account. he can make naval plays way further than you usually expect an MPT, so you really got to respect that. Midas looking like he's got pretty far away horses, and that's true, but that's true for his opponent in SDN as well. Huh. Alright, maybe Cheese is actually going to decide to try for the kill at Tiwanaku himself, but we'll see whether or not he actually ends up going for that. He's choking a ton of tiles. This city has got nothing to work with. All he can do is work that mountain here and maybe that one mine tile. He's just not getting anything out of his cities here. Looks like SDN is getting back RNG up here too. He tried to get GA off of Archiever's Warrior apparently, but it didn't go his favor. And he's still got that elite MP to deal with at home as well. He's not having the best early games today, SDN isn't. So maybe another part of his team's gotta pick up the slack. Obi and Japan is still sitting pretty fine. I don't think he's entered GA yet. But the Incans are also under immense pressure, so for now I really like the chances here for Team Midas, Cheese and Archriver. They're all in pretty untouched spots and can build up to their heart's desire. I wonder why he's not gone for that horse yet and instead for the double across river cities here, Midas has. But again, I disagree heavily with his early build that he's gone for here. The Incans are just like, yeah, they're just the ultimate sitting duck right now. Japan has apparently succeeded in taking that GA. Even got the enslave off apparently. Look at that. That's the peasant underneath the samurai. Paid off totally here. And a free worker is something you'll take any day of the week. Looks like a couple of archers were loaded into that galley, but you know, there's really no angle to both the Incans from, so maybe that's not the most fruitful play in the end. We'll see. Cheese is now trying to figure out the most optimal way to take out the Incans here, since he's got great pressure. He's taken the roads, and that mountain over here is irrelevant since the road can't bridge the river. So that's a tough, yeah, that's a tough choice to make for the Incans here. How are they going to get control back over the land? Are they just going to archer spam, or are they going to make some catapults? We'll see about that. As Arch is getting close to hooking that iron, he's got the settler on it. Apparently, SDN just took his GA up north, gotten that warrior down. So we'll see how that works for him. He's also still got that MP to deal with, but maybe now in the GA he can produce some more impactful war chariots that he can pressure Cheese with, or even archery, because he's been untouched all game and he's preparing for his berserk army. No opponent with the naval cities, or with the coastal cities yet rather, unless except of course the Incans down here. So yeah, that's probably not the most ideal target for him, but who knows. Map making done apparently. Yep, they of course it is. They have the galleys and they have the longships, so they know what's up everywhere. Just wonder how their opponents can get onto the map here. What can the Incans Egyptians do mainly? Because Obi is getting big at home. He's got that 4-city GA and he's got all the rest that he would need. I just wonder what's his angle in this one. Is he gonna focus on the Iroquois, or is he going towards the Vikings? I can't tell, but he's not planted coastal yet, so I think he's just gonna surrender the naval here, confine himself to inland cities. I think he's gonna look for the Iroquois most likely. Looks like they just traded some maps. And Cheese is saying the same thing I just did. Obi most likely to focus on the Iroquois here, at least if he respects Midas as a player. So that'll be a telling sign here. SDN still, yeah, making sure his roads are safe. I like that choice. But not getting any additional war chariots out yet. I also don't see any ships that we have to focus on for now. This galley isn't gonna find any prey, the southern one I'm talking about, and she's just moving back and forth in SDN's land. Still unroaded, he says, as Midas starts coming in with a couple of units himself. He's hooked those horses, which is nice because he's gonna need that GA. You can't. I think he's being a little bit too careless with the Japanese for now. Now I don't know what he's doing, but he's not chatting actively to his team, expressing his concern towards that Obi free build up there, because that's gonna be scary. Obi can road up to you very quickly. You don't have any sentries. You don't have your GA for a while here. So you're gonna get overwhelmed by these Japanese eventually, I feel. Huh. Yeah, either Rever is, or yeah, Midas is just saying what what we knew. There's no way for him to land there. So we'll see. So they're now trying to count, do they have enough to punch through Chiwanaku as another turn concludes without the attack. I don't think at this point it's a wise choice to just hit into that city anymore, but Cheese is right. He's got a ton of imps, more than it might look like initially, in order to potentially hit into that. And look at this. We've got these first longships out. He's still looking around. He doesn't have perfect maps yet, I imagine, of the enemy coast, so he doesn't really know where he can attack, which angles he's got. And it's not great ones here, honestly. Nobody really forced to plant coastal on this bigger map. But still, something that people underestimate, the amphibious assault isn't only good against coastal units, but it's also good against picketing, right? You can just kill the picketing units and then attack with strong attackers into enemy cities. And that's, oh yeah, he just gets his GA. That's also nice, lol. Gets the GA from the boat alongside the promotion and clears the sentry on the way. Now I wonder how this one's gonna go down south. Cheese is not in the GA anymore. Looks like he's gotten his MP killed up here as well. So SDN just got into his GA a couple of turns ago. Archiever just got into his GA now, and Obi's been in his for a while as well. The Iroquois really need to get theirs going. And the Incans, I don't remember if they actually ever ended up winning a combat with the Chesky. I don't think so though. So that's gonna be tough for him to get into, I imagine, because it's really costly to build Chesky and it doesn't really clear enemy imps. So you don't really have a way to get into that GA effectively if you don't have a teammate who can give it to you, which isn't really the case here. Oh man. Yeah, that's just what you hate to see here, the classic Zulu choke on Inca, unloading of even more Iroquois units, although just two archers, that can be pretty painful to deal with. And look at this, another campfire being lit, this time at Tiwanaku. I wonder how much he's gotten in there. Is there already an upgrade being prepared for the Iroquois, I wonder? Looks like next turn he's getting a couple. I wonder how many he's got. He doesn't have a ton, but all he really needs is GA here, in my opinion. And maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 is already enough to get that kill at Tiwanaku. Now, just out of curiosity, let's investigate and actually check out what there's in there in Tiwanaku. Oops, that's what we want. Yep. All right, look at this. 6 units here for the Incans and Tiwanaku. That's not a ton, really isn't. So with a couple of mounted, you're probably getting that kill there at some point. Looks like they are trying to maneuver around here for these Iroquois archers to get through, and they might not even need these mounted warriors in the end. Let's see how they can orchestrate that clean give over. And I wonder also what Archie was building in his GA now. Is he just stacking archers or building a massive berserk army? Looking forward to that. Maybe I would like to see him, because the enemies aren't building coastal cities. You don't need a massive berserk stack. I would like to see him build 10 berserks and 20 archers, and then 50 longships, and put a ton of archers underneath those berserks, because that's an unstoppable stack that enemy can't really clear out, and they just have to defend it with a defensive bombard pretty much. So I wonder how that's gonna go. Jesus, also sending more archers. As soon as those approach, you have to feel like they might end up hitting. And Rever is getting a bit desperate now. He realizes that he's got to do something to stop this encirclement from concluding. He's getting those tiles back slowly here, and he's gonna try to road them, ideally. Don't think the enemy is gonna allow him to do that, though, in the end. We'll see how it'll go. Rever finding all those middle islands now. It's gonna be good for him in case he ever needs to get to the other side of the map, because the enemy most certainly doesn't have that scouted. And that's one more unexpected route that the Vikings can hit you from. Incan's still on the heavy fire, whereas Archiver Obi just free building here. Same thing for the Iroquois. I just wonder where they're gonna get that GA from. That's very important for now, getting into that GA so that you don't just get overwhelmed by Obi. Is it already too late for that? I don't think so, because Archiver still has pressure in him from the north with those ships, which can appear out of nowhere, just like they did at Lindisfarne. Drive-by raids here. Archie, we're just about done with his circumnavigation. Meets Cheese over here, which is of course his teammate. So please don't look for the kill there. I find it absolutely hilarious if he ended up getting the kill onto Incan somehow. But I don't think that's a favorable trade. You would much rather have your 93 score Vikings alive than the trade them for a kill onto the 86 score heavily choked Incans, I believe. Walls up in Reykjavik, and another turn of Tiwanaku burning. I have to feel for Rever here. That guy gets up at 7 a.m. in order to play with us and test this mod out. And he's just getting shafted here again by heavy choke from Cheese. This is really not what he deserves, but no way out of it at this point. Cheese doing a good job of reminding his teammate to keep his eyes out for Japan as well, and I like that from SDN. I didn't see any chat messages announcing that he would do this, but look at this. This is a nice stack that he's got going out here, and no matter whether he told his team about this or not, he's managing to sneak them around. And that's the one strength that everybody keeps telling me about when it comes to SDN. He's great at sneaking horsemen through to the enemy. And war chariots are pretty much exactly that now. You don't need to have a ton of them if you have them in the right spot. Maybe he's going to be able to surprise Archie and take him out here, which would be a huge momentum swing in this game. First of all, we still have the pressure down here on the Incans. I wonder if they're finally going to get into their GA with the Chasky there. And SDN could double move as early as end of next turn and try to hit the Vikings. For now, he's content with that bar camp, and he's now spotting the border. Now, question remains, does he move into vision range of that hill? No, he takes a very interesting wraparound route south. I wonder if he's actually trying to go through Obi's land and hit from the south. Although Reykjavik is walled now, so I don't really expect that. And that's exactly what I called for. I love to see that. These four mounted. No worker out for the Incans, so they can't reroute that tile. You can just wait for these four archers to arrive in Tiwanaku, and alongside those four mounted, you can get that hit off cleanly. Also love to see this from the Vikings, by the way, getting those free score cities and rest cities. Look at this, that's horses over here, so they don't even have to hook their own horses near Copenhagen. They can also just use the rest island if they want to invest in two harbors, that is, so maybe not the best investment. We'll see though. When are they gonna strike down here? She's moving those archers in, so I expect him to go for this end of this turn, double move into Tiwanaku with the mounted warriors that are now moved in here as well. Now at this point it's really tough to figure out what you should do as the Incans. You could just hit into this with warriors and trade very favorably, but you don't have the extra units to allow for this, and it looks like the Iroquois are actually already hitting. I didn't expect it to go this turn, but there they go. They're going all out on Tiwanaku. And is Archiver joining in at Cusco as well? I think he is. And it's not going great for the Incans so far. They're losing on all fronts. They're still moving in a couple of units though and holding on for now. They're doing great, but I just don't think they have the numbers for this. Rever is going low and he's gone down in the end. Now who gets the kill is the question there at Tiwanaku. I'm just gonna save for yeah, he is dead. We can see that. Question is yeah. Question is who killed? Who's supposed to have that city? Iroquois killed. Okay, we'll see. Tiwanaku on fire. Niagara Falls as well. But are they able to take it finally? Doesn't look like they are. Alright, they are. Okay, all good. Maybe should have saved. But I don't think it would have... Maybe it would have mattered. Who knows? Alright, so he takes Tiwanaku. How do we do this, though? Is the reload just gonna crash it again? Yeah, it will be interesting how we make this so it doesn't crash again. But we'll have to reload it, I guess. Alright, we figure a way out to have this not crash on reload. Alright, we figure out a way in order to make this proper. Kill bug always tends to happen on these ones, so it's annoying, but it's a reoccurring thing. Restarting Steam takes a while here, apologies, but we'll get there. Hey, we're getting there. We're gathering that reload, slowly but surely. Oh, lobby already full. I'm just asleep at the wheel here. My apologies. Yeah, it's a kill bug. It's the classic. We've been there. But it's fine. We'll find a way so it doesn't occur on reload, I hope. Otherwise, this will be sad. Oh, did somebody not get in reload? Don't tell me. Midas? You can make it, bro. I trust. Ah, come on. Looks like we didn't all get back in. I like the homegang emote too, but we haven't had homegang in a while here, sadly. We still have some ones though. It's just tough to schedule. Is the thing. Huh. Maybe I can. Where's Midas? Maybe I can invite him manually. He didn't make it into the second screen. It seems. Uh, ah, looks like people. All right, no, we'll have to rehost the lobby. Oh wait, did you actually have a home gun proposed and accepted? I forgot. Did you actually have one challenged and accepted? I don't even remember. Ooh. Oh yeah, right. You were talking to Arch. Which mod did you even want to do? Let me note that down. That might actually end up happening at some point. I have this Excel sheet here, though it's not very complete. Yeah, I mean, geez, all the good rolls you get 1v1 here, you're not gonna get those in ladder games. I can promise you. You'll be fuming when you die to stupid 1v1s in ladder. Oh yeah, Jesus is referring to the 1v1 rolls he's taken in this game. Alright, we try for the launch again while I'm poking fun at cheese. My favorite activity on stream. So let's figure out which turn do we need here. Oh, poor cheese, he doesn't deserve that. Alright, guess we'll try with AI and get into the reload. Let's hope this works out fine. We are back though. Let's see if they can get that. Hey, that looks great. How do I have all these files already? Jesus. Alright, doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. People gotta check their mutes and we keep on rolling here. Now one thing that we pointed out just before the drop in case you missed it, SDN is trying to get sneaky up north. He's been spotted at some locations here and at this one as well now by Arch, so he knows that something might be up, but he just doesn't know to what extent. He's gonna get pressured here soon. And all of a sudden it's just Obi and SDN versus the other three, but they both have potent stuff going on. Now they might just have me muted and be planning this attack onto Arch Rever in a joint fashion here. That is an immense stack from Obi. He's been quietly building up all game, and why everybody expected him to go down towards the Iroquois, he's apparently ganging up on Arch with his teammate. And it looks like SDN's already looking for the double move next turn. I don't think Obi's quite in range yet, so maybe he's gonna tell him to wait one more. But we'll see. I don't think Archiever's got near enough to defend this onslaught that's going to be unleashed onto him. The question is, can Obi be punished for moving out his stack soon here? And she's now recognizing that, yeah, Egypt probably's got some good stuff going on here. He's talking about 40 chariots. I think that's way too high for an estimate, yep. But, I mean, soon, you know, could very well be. And there go the stacks. In comes Obi from the south to the Vikings. Now maybe Arch is going to be able to warn or to alert his team in order to pressure Obi then, because he's in and he's got a great avenue in deeper into Viking lands in case he doesn't want to take the immediate hit onto Reykjavik. He very well could though, because there's no way this stack's getting stopped. And that's just what the elite MPT players do. If you leave them alone and they're in a favorable spot, they'll just stack shit quicker than you can do. And despite Archie getting a really nice score expansion, reconnaissance, getting berserk boats out, there just weren't any angles for him. And he's gonna be paying that price. She's now trying to orchestrate a joint response to this. And SDN is looking for the double move this turn. That's a good idea, because Arch is inevitably gonna fold to this. He's asking for gold. I wonder, what's he gonna do with that gold? He can't upgrade anything that would let him defend better, can he? So I wonder what he's actually looking at there. Even more units moving out for Obi. Maybe he's gonna get punished again in the end. Remember last time he did that? He got cleaned up at home because he had to overcommit for a kill. Now, they are down a player already, so I understand that it's crucial that they get that kill. But I think he's overestimating Archiver's strength here. If he doesn't feel comfortable hitting into Reykjavik as a hill-walled city, he might be better off going for Bergen, as the door to that city is far and widely open. SDN looking at the double move end of turn he told us earlier. And oh god, I didn't see what you timed cheese out for, but I'm absolutely sure that it was deserved. What are they doing now though? Archie, we're looking for a wraparound at Kyoto. Doesn't get a landing off here, it seems. Oh, he goes end of turn, but I think he doesn't have those moves left, does he? Apparently not. Or is he actually hitting at Kyoto? I don't quite think so. And interestingly, SDN hasn't moved end of turn. He's still asking Obi for when to go. And Obi apparently tells him to keep that stack, keep it in the back line. And wow, that's interesting. He actually went for more berserks apparently. Archie that did, just to try to clear units out of his land maybe. But these berserks only have one defense point. These are very weak defensive swordsmen, especially when the enemy has this amount of archers underneath. And sadly, he didn't get the landing off at Kyoto in time as well, so wasn't able to threaten that city this turn. That is tough for him. Tough luck nonetheless. I like the Iroquois ferrying a couple of units over. He could stack up units. No, never mind. There's the Sentry Samurai. Good job by Obi there, not opening himself up to any easy, cheap-ish shenanigans there. And for now, I wonder. Interesting. She's telling Midas to just keep stacking. Are they missing their window here is the question. I wonder. Archie is bringing everything and anything he can find over to the mainland. Is that gonna be enough? Hardly, I think. SDN waking up the stack. I think they're gonna go for the hit end of this one. And now I wonder whether they go for different cities for the same ones. I'd imagine Copenhagen to be the actual target for SDN. And it looks like he's proving me right there. Although he doesn't move the main stack until very late. But there he goes. He's safe at home still, so we can fully focus on what's going on there for Archie. But Bergen is getting hit with a massive stack here by the Japanese. And I don't think he's going to be able to survive this one. He's reinforcing with everything he's got, but he's getting hit from so many different angles. And Copenhagen's just been cleared out. There was no way for him to survive this one, I don't think. And SDN is the actual one who ends up picking up the kill, equalizing the player count at 2 apiece here. 1 kill for both parties. SDN killing his old teammate Archriver after being killed last game by him in, well, junction with Cheese. But he gets the kill this time around. Nicely walled city here of Copenhagen. And we'll have to do another kill bug reload. It's well worth it with all the action that we're getting here though. Lethal. Well, somebody died, so I would assume it was lethal there. You're not wrong on this. Probably. Hmm. Alright, we get in there. Alright. We're again trying to figure out how to best do this reload without it screwing us over more than it needs to. I saved mid-turn this time, so we could just reload that. Alright, putting it back up and trying to figure out how to best do this without fucking up. What do we need? I think only SDN is needed. Yep, there we go. I think we're already full again for the reload, as we're apparently reloading without Arch and putting AI again. Hope we're all getting in. Yep. Okay, looks good for the reload. We'll figure it out. Looks like everybody got in fine. Think we're all in agreement though. Yep, all right. Think we're all in agreement here. So we're getting back in. All right, there we go. We're launching as we speak. All right. Switching scenes. And let's see if this works properly. They're going for the kill here. And God, it looks like it's fine. Nice. We're back in then. We're back in and it's 2v2 on this really big map. And without the Vikings, we exert huge naval pressure. So remains to be seen who ends up getting the upper hand here. Now that these cornermost players have both been eliminated, we have pretty much northwest versus southeast. Yeah, fair. Yeah, all good, all good. We're in agreement then. Okay, so what I was saying, we kind of have two 1v1 scenarios going on here. And I think um, both of them in theory. Whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. These guys, whatever, doesn't matter for going forward. So why clog the chat? All right, so what I was saying, again, the northern team, I think on paper have the advantage in both these 1v1 matchups here now. The only issue is kind of Iroquois are pretty big in score and they could stack a ton. And as requested, let's check their F3 out as well. 8 mounted, 17 archers, 10 warriors. So it's not a scary amount, but still, they're building up. They've got 5 cities now in their GA that they're mass producing out of. So they're not going to be pushovers here for Obi, probably at least. They are getting eroded now, though, so they gotta get their army up quickly and figure out a way to deal with this massive archer stack that could be headed their way soon as well. We'll see about that then. Now, both these captured cities are, of course, prime targets, but it's pretty difficult to get to them without sneaking a boat through, and maybe the Iroquois could actually do that, sneak a boat around to Copenhagen. And who knows how many units SDN is gonna leave in there, right? So that's maybe a cheeky kill opportunity, but I'm not sure Midas actually has maps from Rever that show him this back around passageway here, because that could then be pretty big. They could get to Copenhagen without being seen before, and if SDN decides to move all the war chariots out once they're healed up, that is a kill opportunity. So I wonder if that's potentially something Midas goes for in case he's gotten the maps from the Vikings. That's an interesting frontline situation here with SDN just blocking cheese off for now. I would have expected it to be kind of the other way around, but interestingly, a couple of mounted, those that were used at Tiwanaku earlier actually now moved on over here to the Egyptians, and we see SDN responding. He definitely feels threatened at home. He doesn't really know what the opponent has. He especially doesn't know that this is pretty much everything Cheese can muster right now. So it's really only Midas that both of these guys have to worry about offensively. With that kill onto archery, but the momentum in this game has shifted a lot. As I said before, I really liked the chances of Cheese's team before that kill. They had 3 untouched players at home, but as we see the landing on Obi, maybe he gets caught off guard here in the backline. I don't think so though, because yeah, he knows what's going on there. There goes the hit. Kyoto goes low, but he had another unit underneath, so never really in danger there. Can't catch him out that easily after all. Still, he has got no coastal cities, so he can't get involved on the naval shenanigans himself. He might just not need to, though, because he's got that road, that quick road, coming up towards his enemy. And the interesting plan that's being devised here by Cheese and Midas now. I wonder how he's looking to kill that, because there's only 2 cities for SDN, and Cheese is right that tons of units here from SDN are actually occupied somewhere other than in his heartland cities. But how do you get there? SDN has division everywhere, and you only have 4 mounted warriors and a couple of impi. There's no way that's enough for a kill, is there? I wonder where they're going to go with this. They're not going to take that mountain, are they? Apparently they are. SDN is trying to reinforce, but he can't. And instead he's actually just withdrawing, apparently. That roll went pretty nicely for Midas, and that's a good tile to control in any case. I just don't think Memphis is going to be that easy to break through to. These peasants are roading up to Salamanca quickly. And I'm not sure Midas is well equipped enough just yet to deal with that. Let's check the army sizes out. 15 Samuel, 20 archers, 4 swords. So that's an effective 30 stack here. As opposed to the Iroquois with their 16 archers, couple of spearmen. 11 mounted is nothing to scoff at, but still. And interesting, as we already approach the last 20 turns of this game, we are in a rather even situation, but I would still call it favored to the northern team in quite a bit. It just seems as though SDN is in a little bit of an awkward spot here. I don't think he's gonna get killed off, but he can't really expand for score, and he also can't pressure any enemies, more importantly. So both the enemies can focus their attention onto Obi if they need to. She's apparently not going for any coastals this game. I would have liked to maybe see some boating out of him, just to keep Obi honest and force him to leave a couple of units home once the Iroquois inevitably clash with his main bulk of the army. But no, apparently they are trying to still make something happen at SDN. I just don't think they have the manpower needed to take any meaningful tiles off the Egyptians. Midas wants to heal those mounted up. That might be a good choice, because as soon as you step onto this hill, you're in attack range from Memphis and you're just gonna get cleared out there. So I actually agree with him here in not following Jesus' advice and staying on the mountain where he's rather safe and can't be hit by anybody without a turn's notice in advance. 20 turns left in this one, and Midas's big score is what's kind of keeping them in the game for now. I just wonder how he's gonna deal with this one. And remember what I told you at the beginning of the game, guys. I really dislike the way the Iroquois planted early here. Double across the river here to Allegheny and Niagara Falls. So if Obi gets his stack into his land and is not getting chipped away at by catapults, which the Iroquois clearly don't have, then I can't see them easily then I can't see them actually finding an answer to the stack at all before getting all their roads pillaged. So I wonder, what do they actually have? What can they actually still do? Now, one thing that's interesting is Obi's got 3 peasants on here. He can, at the end of this turn, move all of them onto this tile, road it, and then double move onto Salamanca as early as this turn. And, I mean, Midas knows that this is going on because he's got vision of this roaded tile. But he doesn't know how big Obi's... Oh, no, never mind. He's got that hillside colony there. So he knows exactly what's going on. All right. I just don't think he's ever seen an end of turn road double move by the Japanese here. It's kind of like the end of turn settler city plant or colony double move, but it's an unusual sight that people probably have to get used to. And I'm not sure he's ready to really deal with that, although he's doing a good job retreating some units from over there in the east to bolster his defenses at home. Also, SDN holding up in the meantime. He's held on to all the important tiles, and it looks like he's killed off quite a decent amount of impies already as well. And Cheese and Midas realizing they don't have any real kill angles here. Honestly, these mounted are starting to heal up at least, but where do you attack, right? It's a 2-city enemy. And as long as he doesn't expand anymore, that's already a small victory. I like that though. He's still got a couple of galleys in the back line that might be able to catch SDN out at Copenhagen if he gets too scared and moves even more war chariots out of there. Obi goes in with the road, interestingly not immediately through Salamanca, but instead across the horse colony there for the Iroquois, and he's now got the chance to double move into Midas's land, onto any city, onto Niagara Falls, onto Salamanca, and onto Allegheny. This is I don't think all of you watching are exactly aware of how huge this double move threat is here. Now he's obviously controlling the road here through the horses, so he can double move the stack onto the forest or the mine to hit Allegheny or Niagara Falls. But he can also move the peasants at the end of this turn again onto the plains and double move onto Salamanca. And he can even do the same thing here. Road this one, go through the Iroquois colony that will turn into a road once you capture it, and double move through onto Grand River. So he's effectively threatening 4 enemy cities, 2 of which are across separate rivers. So honestly, I don't think this is defensible for Midas. So let's see how Obi plays it. He's kind of given away that he wants to road this tile end of turn by doing this move. So he's preparing a safe tile for his peasants to work so that Midas can't intercept them once he's getting the road done. Good precaution here taken by Obi. That might also be a bluff, of course, but overall I do agree with that. Now, how does he move forward here is kind of the question, right? Because he doesn't know how well defended which of the enemy cities really are there. And also Copenhagen, maybe we can just really quick check that out so that we know whether or not we have to worry about this. Oh, we do. All right. There's 3 units in there, so a 2 galley landing could potentially be a kill there, especially if it's mounted warriors. SDN's also getting circled at home. What's Obi gonna do? He's gotten the road onto Salamanca. Is he moving that stack in? I don't see it just yet. And SDN also holding on fine at home. So Obi made that road, but he didn't manage to move the units in time, or maybe he also just chose not to hard commit for that just yet. Gets another archer cleared out very easily. And crucially, I missed that earlier. The spearmen and the walls for SDN in Copenhagen mean that with the additional spearmen on top of his 3 war chariots, Copenhagen is now very well secured, and I don't think 4 mounted warriors are realistically gonna kill that city anymore, which we don't even know whether the Iroquois have that in this boat or not. Big stack here. He realizes he can't just sit at home and win that way. He'll have to see what he can do against that, but he's taken all full trades here for now. It's not looking good for him. He realizes as well, this is not defensible. This huge archer stack is just smothering him at this point. Is he gonna be able to get any play off anymore here? These galleys just don't look promising to me. And I think he already dropped a couple of archers onto Kyoto already, or earlier if I'm not mistaken. So probably not even 4 units left in these boats, sadly for him. SDN also won't die here, as you can see. Managed to clear out the rest of these mounted warriors and re-establish that defensive line around his cities. So no, it's all in Obi's hands right now. He's played it cool after the Incans died early, and he's moving all in now. He's going on to Allegheny. Is he gonna block that road start of turn? That could be crucial, but there's a double road. Interestingly, he chooses the right tile to block, because I'm, of course, a moron that didn't see that. Great job cutting off Allegheny, and he's gonna get that kill here. I'm gonna save again midway through the attack. I'm not sure if it screws with it, but we'll see. He gets a lot of good rolls, it seems like. Gets some quick kills here, and yeah, Midas is trying. He's sending units on over, but he just can't get into the city. Now a couple of rolls go in his favor. Wow, this elite is just not dying. Finally gives in. And although this stack has decreased in size by a lot, I feel like Illigany should be going down slowly but surely here. There we go, 1 HP Spearman on top, and now it's the 1 HP Archers. There goes one after the other. Finally, the city is empty, and there's the kill without even a crash. There we go. And that's the kill, and Cheese will probably just GG off this. Obi not happy with the RNG that he got, but after Cheese said earlier that this kill equates the game being over, I can't see him playing this one on. Obi again steps up here with a rather quiet game early, not getting involved a lot, but just taking that 4-city GA, running with it, not being pressured at all while doing so. And of course, Rever tried to get pressure onto him with those longboats once he got him out. Obi planted in a way and defended in a fashion where it just wasn't possible. He just stacked archers. And that was the strategy, if you remember, that was the strategy for Ava as well in the last in last week's games, where he just stacked archers on Iroquois in archery. But he made the classic plays on his civs that you're supposed to make. He stacked Gallics on Celts. He stacked Berserk longboats as the Vikings here, and he made those plays. He got some great stacks out. Just didn't matter because the enemy stacked archers at home, and archery was forced to attack into them and blew all his power that way both times. So therefore, maybe that's just what you do against archery, where you just stack archers and wait until he brings his massive stack on over. Of course, that's not what happened this time around, right? But still, he had to try something onto Obi, and it wasn't successful. Just cause Obi was never forced to use any of his units, or at least move them out from home. Therefore, no shot for him there. I would do the score math for Cheese, but I don't want to miss anything that's going on. Also don't want to cause the game to crash. So maybe let's not do that for now. There's just no way he wins score here. I don't believe it. Now maybe he can still find a lucky kill onto SDN, but these MPs, oh yeah, look at this. These stacks are already badly hurt. So that's not gonna happen today. Yeah, the Japanese are just gonna bring all that stack over to Zulu now, I imagine. And then if he doesn't GA, he's gonna get forced to, or if he doesn't GG, sorry, he's just gonna get wiped out, I imagine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, maybe he can get on over there in time. Who knows? He's taken the hill, alright. This would be the most hilarious kill ever, if he actually was able to somehow get SDN here. Thieves on fire. I'm thankful we got to see that still. There we go. We love to see it. Oh, sorry, you still... Wait. Yeah. Alright, Thieves is going low. The Spearman on top is at least. Wow, geez, he's not even trying. He isn't even moving all across the river before he hits. Shaking my head. Look at this. Oh boy. Disgraceful, really. Look how your teammate is throwing Rever. He tried everything. Fair enough there from Cheese. He put out a lot of pressure early on, but Japan not getting any love from the enemies. Just got too massive here. Is Japan just OP? Is Scandinavia just useless? I'm ready for the debate. I'm looking forward to it. Wow, are they actually up in score? I didn't do the math. Yeah, that's no shot he holds that against 2 alive players. That's correct. Fair enough. GG guys. That was a great Friday night. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Yeah, Arch. I know, right? She's letting you down. That guy. Am I right? Ah, it was a good one, dude. I'm tired as hell now, but it was worth the watch. I'm interested what these guys end up thinking about these games here. Any new realizations from this? Okay, there we go then. Gonna end it here. Again, everybody that played or watched, just feel free to discuss what you think about these sieves and whether any balancing is necessary still. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow.